Hi, welcome back to take 2. The first time I tried filming this whole video, my battery died, everything froze up, none of my progress was saved, so there's that. As you can see, my bookshelves are in kind of orderly, kind of not. They're not fully set up. You can see I have a beautiful new bookshelf. Super excited about, can't wait to get it fully set up and going. Also, you'll probably hear my son playing video games in the background. No amount of me asking him to keep it down is gonna work. He's 8. He just got home from school. So, we're just gonna go with it. So, like I say every month, I did great. But I think if you at least read one book, that's awesome. If you read half a book, that's awesome. As long as you're reading, that is awesome. So the first book that I'm gonna go over, I did as part of the Buzzword-a-thon, and it is Night of the Mannequins by Stephen Graham Jones. I did go over this in my Buzzword-a-thon wrap-up, but I gave this one 3 stars. I enjoyed it. It was nice, it was quick, it was easy, it was full of dark humor. It's about a friend group who decides to play one last prank, doesn't go as planned, and people start dying. So there we go. The next book I read was part of the Busy Bee book club, Foundry Side by Robert Jackson Bennett, and I gave this one 5 stars. I super enjoyed it. It really led me on the path of discovery of figuring out that one of my favorite tropes in books is when random people are thrown into a group together and they have to work towards some sort of common goal. I'm here for it. I was also here for the love interest, the slight little romance happening in the book. Totally here for it. I was afraid it was going to go a different direction. At the beginning, I was a little worried. I was like, gosh, I really hope that this isn't the couple. This isn't the 2 characters that are going to try and make a couple, because they totally don't work together. But then it wasn't. It was something different, and I am so here for it. I love the magic system. It was unique to me. I personally don't think, I can't think of another book that I have read that uses anything in the realm of this type of magic system. My favorite character, one of my favorite characters was a key, so there's that. But it all starts out as kind of a heist gone wrong, and now a bunch of people, now this group of people have to come together and work together to essentially save everybody, and then it gets crazy. So I am here for it. And the next book that I read was part of the Literally Dead book club, which was Catherine House by Elizabeth Thomas, and I unfortunately gave this one 2 stars. It was a little weird. I didn't feel like there was too much of a plot. The main character was very apathetic and very hard to like, especially at the beginning. But the things that I did enjoy about it were I enjoyed the descripting of the house, and I loved all the side characters that were in the story. I did enjoy, starting probably about halfway through, I did start to enjoy the main character a little bit more. But I wanted more. And I think the biggest problem that I have with it, and this goes back to a video I did last week, when I talk about the mismarketing of books. This was kind of marketed to me as more of a mystery thriller, and that got me excited to read it. And the whole time I just kept waiting and waiting for this mystery, thriller, anything like that to kind of happen, and it wasn't really there. So I personally would not market this as a mystery thriller. I can understand where people are trying to come from, because everyone likes to stuff things into categories and boxes and everything. And when you have a book that doesn't necessarily fit in any of those standard boxes of a mystery thriller, or fantasy, sci-fi, anything like that, it gets a little tough. So it's weird. It's a weird book. I personally feel I probably would have given it a little more of a chance had it not been marketed to me as a mystery thriller. I really wanted to enjoy this book a lot more than I did. It was it was an easy read. It was nice. I didn't mind the pacing. I didn't mind the sort of plotless meanderings of it. It was more that because it was marketed as this mystery thriller, I kept waiting for the other shoe to drop, so to speak. And it never fully did. And I feel, had I not been waiting for that, I feel I would have enjoyed it a lot more. So I'm a little sad that is how it was marketed to me, because I don't feel I gave it as much of a chance as maybe it deserves. Because I've seen other people who's recommended other books that I've thoroughly agreed and enjoyed with, love this book. And yeah, I don't know, maybe I'll give it a reread sometime, now that I know it's not a mystery and thriller. We'll see. I mean, definitely not anytime soon, but yeah. So alright, the last book, literally the last book, I just finished it up the other day, that I read was for my family's book club, and we did the Murmur of Bees by Sofia Segovia, and I gave this 4 stars. I'm starting to wonder if I do really in fact enjoy historical fiction. It's now the second one that I've read in this year, yeah, that I have thoroughly enjoyed. So this one, it follows a family during the Mexican Revolution and during the Spanish flu epidemic. And let me tell you, when I got to that part, oh, did I cry? Oh, I did. I cried so much. It was so reflective of the current times, that just how close to home with the current time, the current situations happening, it was eye-opening. Here, let me read this line to you. So in this part, they're talking about how they had tried to get certain parts of Mexico, like the northern states of Mexico, fenced off, essentially, just cut off. Let's isolate to stop the spread of what's happening. And it says, but his request had fallen on deaf ears, and the disease had spread all over the country. The miracle would have been if those arrogant fools, with the fate of the country in their hands, had listened in time to the voices of the experts. Now it was too late. And let me tell you, when I got to that line, I went, whoo, 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 whoo. Yeah, exactly. And it just made me think of the quote, who I can't think of who it was, but it's those who did not learn from history are doomed to repeat it, and here we are, essentially repeating it. So, anyhow, so it's about this family who's struggling to go through there, and just through the general anxiety of potentially having their land taken over, having to give up goods to give to whatever armed forces was trampling through at the time. It starts off with them taking in an abandoned baby who was covered in bees, who had essentially, I believe, would be compared to a cleft palate today, who obviously, guy in particular, said that it was a sign from the devil, so he got all superstitious about this baby, but the family was like, nah, we're gonna take him in and we're gonna raise him, and then this child becomes part of the family and has helped this family through all sorts of different things. And so there's a little bit of magical realism in the fact that this child comes into their life and he's kind of like one with the land, and he communicates with his bees, as they call them, and it's a really nice story. The writing is very flowery. It does meander a lot, and at the very beginning, the perspective changes were a little strange, and it may take you a minute to understand exactly whose perspective you're reading. But other than that, I thought it was a great little story. It was something just nice to just relax and read. So that was really cool. I thought it was also really cool that this is a Mexican author, and this is her first English translated work. So that was my 4 stars. So 1 2-star, 1 3-star, 1 4-star, 1 5-star. So yeah, I think that's really about it. Gotta finish putting these bookshelves together. I started organizing them, and now I think I'm just gonna take all the books back off and redo it all again. So I don't know how I want to organize them. So yeah, okay, that's about it for this video. Thank you so much for joining me. Please let me know if you've read any of those books and what any of the same books and what your thoughts are on them. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye.